to Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise. This is my podcast. Happy February 7th. Hump day. Here we go. I'm feeling pretty good. How about you? Do you? Are you feeling good? How good are you feeling? Yeah, are you feeling this good? Are you feeling it? Yeah. Bop it, cause guess what happened? Can you guess? The parentals moved out. Can I tell you, okay, how incredibly good I feel? Now, I'm not saying that I hate my parents. I'm not saying that I don't love my parents. I am saying I don't want to live with my freaking parents. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, here's the deal. They moved out last Friday. I found out within 4 days. They really didn't share information with me. They truly are horrible tenants. I'm not going to lie. So no wonder you're having a hard time getting an apartment. You have poor communication. Yeah, it's honestly. But I really didn't know. They didn't give me a date. I finally just asked, are you moving out? Because they told me they had an apartment 2 or 3 times. But to them, if they go see an apartment, they think it's theirs. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how it works. It's 2024. But then they said, oh, yeah, we saw an apartment. We got this apartment. And then it was like, no, you didn't. Somebody else turned in an application and they paid cash up front. So they got it. Then this time they were like, yeah, we got it. And I'm like, no, but did you? Don't play with me. You're pulling me. Did you get it or not? What are we doing? What does that mean? I need to see lease and the keys. And they were like, oh, no, we paid cash and we signed a lease and they gave us the keys. And I'm like, can I see them? I did not. But you know what I'm saying? I was so freaking excited. But then that was it. It was really no when we're moving, but I also believe that they operate on the principle that if they talked about it amongst themselves or they thought they should tell me, they did. Does anybody else have people like this in their life? Sometimes Mr. Sith does this to me. So, and then they'll say, oh, but I told you. No, you didn't, because we ain't doing that this year, people. Denise remembers shit this year. I got 5 calendars. I got everything. I'm not forgetting nothing. Okay. So we're not going there this year. I am remembering everything. I am feeling really good. Since October, I am down 42 pounds, plant-based diet, 95% of the time, might I add, okay? But man, holy shamaholies, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I had a little thing where Peter and Mr. Sith always have this weird respiratory watery eye shit. And as soon as they get that, I know I'm going to get sick, but after they get sick, so that nobody could take care of me. Nobody ever takes care of me, let's be honest. If you're a mom, you don't like being sick, not because you think that you're special or that you think you're exempt, or you don't want to be sick because no one's taking care of you but you, plus you have to do all your regular shit. Let's be honest, that's why. That's my reason why. I'm just honest and telling everybody. I don't like to be sick, not because I don't like to be sick, but because in addition to not be wanting to be sick, God, I feel like I'm going in a circle on this. That in addition to not just, general malaise of not wanting to be sick, okay, that I still have my regular crap I got to do, plus take care of myself and everybody else. So it's just to me, a huge inconvenience. There's that. But I knew that as soon as they both started saying they felt better, I was going to get whacked like in a hammer in my face. And that's exactly what happened. I literally woke up at 3 a.m. the day after they both self-professed they were feeling better and playing video games together. I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning with a swollen throat, like my lymph nodes didn't know, held no bars to how big they can swell. I couldn't breathe, so I had to sit up. And I had so much phlegm going on that I could taste it. You know, I understand. I get it. And so I was like, this stinks. So I always have a backup stash of Z-Pak and prednisone. So I'm like, next day, start my Z-Pak and my prednisone, nail this baby, upper respiratory infection. And that's why people are always just like, I don't like when you find a doctor and they're just like, well, I listened to you and you sound clear. I did, but 2 hours from now, it's hitting me. And how do I know? I can feel it. You know, I know my body that way. When you've been through as much as medically as I have, if you're a person who's been through like medical shit, you know your body like there's no tomorrow, okay? And you can predict stuff like to the dime. And that's what I do. So I found a doctor who like I'm not arguing with anymore, and he's a wonderful man. So I'm like, there we go. We're going to do this. You're filling big shoes, buddy, because my last doctor was like my right-hand man. And he retired. So there's that. What else is going on? So that's it. The parentals are wet. Who the hell else cares what's going on, right? The health journey, it's going really well. And I'm so excited that like I finally found something. I feel good when I eat this way. I'm challenging any of you. Like if you feel like this is not for you to try plant-based, just do it for like a month. And you don't have to do it 100%. Do like 80%. Go get yourself some purple carrot meals. And I got a code for that if you need it. I don't know. I got referral codes for everything right now because just like any other company, if you use them, they give you a referral code. So it's not like I'm not representing a company like an MLM. I'm just like using referral codes that other people use. Okay. Everybody can get them. And then you'll get one when you order and then you can give them to everybody else. I love ordering the purple carrot to the point where on the day, so they only do a maximum of 4 meals per week, which I totally get. So, and then you would normally cook the other 3, which I was, but on busy days, I was finding that I don't even know. It sounded like founding. I was finding that the more I, didn't eat the plant-based good stuff, the crappier I felt. Like there's a huge difference. And I know that I was worried about like meat, dairy, like what, I like meat. And I love dairy, especially cheese. So I'm like, oh gosh, whatever. But let me tell you, meat is not my issue. I have found that if I portion the meat on the days that were meat days, I ate okay. I felt okay. It's the dairy. Any dairy that I consume, I feel like I want to die and I'm a overinflated hippopotamus trying to get into a tutu. It's really bad. I hope you enjoyed that visual. So that I don't want to feel like that. And so I actually signed up for another purple carrot account through Mr. Sith. So I can have meals on the other 3 days. I don't care. And it's so funny because I had a question for purple carrot the other day when I was cooking. There was something like odd in the bag. And so I wanted to just report it to them. And not odd, but there was an onion. Okay. There was an onion in the bag. And it was the first time, like I've been getting them for more than 2 months now. 3 months? Yeah, 3 months. And it was the first time I got something that was not okay in the bag. So meaning that it was like spoiled or rotten or whatnot. But it was a rotten onions. And onions right now, I don't know where you're located, but in the Midwest, where I'm from in Northwest Illinois, pretty much onions are feast or famine here with potatoes, like any root vegetables. An onion could look good, but if you take it home, it's rotten, like all the way through. And same with potatoes. We don't buy anything in a bag anymore. We have to one-off it. I got to feel it. I got to press it. I got to look at it. I got to inspect it. That's kind of where we're at. And so it was just one onion, but you know, when they get like funky like that, sometimes they get a little juicy. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of got on some of the other stuff, which was all packaged. So I just had to rinse it. Not a big deal. But I had an onion, so I just replaced it. But they were super good and just credited me for that one whole meal. And I was like, sweet. So I'll have like, that can be applied to my next order. So I was like, yeah. But I love their meals and I've been doing so good and I feel the difference in my energy. I feel the difference in how I feel. Like I said, I know I've lost weight. I started off in size 22 pants. I told you guys, I've been telling you guys a ton of stuff that I normally don't share, but I want to be realistic because all these people talk about like their weight loss stuff. You know what I'm talking about, all the scam companies and the side deals and, I don't like that stuff anymore. I fell into it. I fell deep. I'm not doing it anymore because it's not healthy and it's just unrealistic and half of it is fucking lies. So, and there's no way you can know what the hell's in those products, period. So nothing that you can't do by yourself. And I have found that I feel so much better. I started drinking a lot more tea because I found an awesome local tea company where they make tea. And I just love the blends they come up with. They got a flu fighter that's kick ass. My next favorite one, which I've really been into, is they did chocolate hazelnut, and I make a latte with it. So that's like my splurgy, quote unquote, coffee tea. And then they also then randomly, I was just like, yeah, it's my coffee tea. That was the chocolate hazelnut. I made like a latte with it, put in my oat milk. It was beautiful to see in the glass. Then they announced that they're having a new tea that's called Coffee Break because it's like coffee. And I'm like, I'm in. Sign me up. Where do I go? And I was so freaking excited about it. So I've been doing that. So I've kind of cut back off of the coffee, but I wanted to while I was doing my mold detox. Remember that whole thing, the mold thing? Oh gosh. Okay, let me just explain two things. Number one, I dropped that shit. I don't care. It's too much energy. People going to be negative. I don't want that in my life. So I literally just dropped it. I don't want anything to do with any of those people. They're just not the kind of people I want in my life. I don't need to convince anybody other than myself. So I was like, bye. Number two, I am officially mold free. It took that long, people. I've been working on mold toxicity since freaking October, and I'm finally mold free. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I wanted to let everybody know that we're going to take a short little break for a sponsor ad and then an endorsement, I should say. Not a sponsor, an endorsement. So we're going to take a quick break for an endorsement and then we'll be back. Hey everybody, Denise here. Listen, you guys know that I have been on this food journey and I've really amped it up this year going a majority of plant-based. And one of the things that I have utilized to help make this journey a little bit easier and have what I need, the food available to me at a convenience, has been Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest is a company that's on a mission to make it really easy to eat more sustainably grown organic fruits and vegetables every day. Why? Because getting 5 servings daily can help you live longer on a healthier planet. But also it's because it is really hard in a busy lifestyle and day to day, especially as moms, to actually be able to get those servings in. And I absolutely, hands down, use their products every day. The number one that I love, the smoothies. So this is huge. I literally just add water. My favorite of all time is the cinnamon, the carrot cinnamon. That's what it is. It tastes like a carrot cake. It's good for you. And they have tons of them. They have a cold brew options. They have greens options. They have just fruit options. They have super acai options and all of these different, whatever fits your lifestyle, they have. I can offer to you guys a personal code that I have that is just like everybody else can get one. You can get one as well if you sign up for the product and pass it on to someone that you know. You can get up to $65 off on your first order, depending on what meal plan or products that you selected, by just using the code RE-K4LMG46 at checkout. Again, I will put the code below on the podcast for people to copy. But again, that promo code is RE-K4LMG46, and get yourself some daily harvest. Start a new journey for yourself, just like I did, and feel better about you. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. We are back. So we were talking basically about me being liberated. I feel so liberated that the parentals are gone. It was amazing to see even the night they left, the day they left, the first night that I slept in the house, without them just even being in the house. I slept like a rock. And let me tell you, it is unbelievable. I was talking to my therapist about this, and she was saying how, it's unbelievable how we don't realize how much childhood trauma we carry just being in the presence of people who were a part of that trauma. Now, I'm not saying that, whatever, you guys know that I'm not talking about that today, but I grew up with some childhood trauma, okay? And most people have. And if you haven't, then hey, you know what? Bonus for you, my peeps. But just having it in the house, the sources, I didn't realize how much literally unsaid tension that was causing me. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't doing, it was horrible. I started not sleeping again. It's like the longer they were here, the worse it got. And it was all of this manifested trauma from childhood. And as soon as they left, my body just went, and I was like, thank goodness for that. Like, I can't. And so, I'm super excited to have my house back. This year, I am going to out condo Maria Kondo. Does that make it? Because I am like the queen of purge, the queen of clean, the queen. And in this house, now it made sense to me why I've let my house kind of go a little more so than I ever would. It's probably like a regular house, and I mean that in a good way. It's lived in, it's whatever, I have kids, I have a dog, blah, blah, blah. But I can't do that. Like, everybody who knows me knows that I am like a clean freak. I like things in order, and I've let things go, my friends. Okay. And that's all right. I'm not beating myself up. I'm using it. This year is a chance to renew that. And I am liberating myself from all of the past issues of me not doing it and just starting from scratch. And I'm going to start with the front hall closet, because there is stuff in there I don't even know what it is. We have shoes in there people ain't even wearing. I'm like, why is this even here? Why is it here? You know what I'm saying? So it's got to go. And I'm going to do that with every drawer, cabinet, and closet in this freaking house. Then I'm going to the garage, because I'm going to need some place to put stuff eventually. I'm going to clean that after we clear everything out of that, like empty. I want it empty. Okay. I want to re-drywall the parts that are like kind of icky, or they didn't have some parts done at all. I don't know why. It's how it was when I bought it. And kind of install new organizational systems. We're going to have an electrician come and put in some outlets, because we have like one outlet and probably a fire hazard right now, the way I've got I do have an extension cord because I couldn't move the fridge doesn't fit where the plug is. So there's that, the outlet. So we're going to get all of that fixed so that it's all like in some cohesive manner. And then I want to have like that cool floor put in. I don't know, it's like a vinyl flooring of some sort. I don't know. I thought that would be really cool. The stairs that go down into the garage, those need to be redone. One has started to crack, the riser. And so in addition to doing that, I would also like to put a handle on one side so that, I don't feel like I'm going to toss out of my garage every time I go on a bad day. But I going to do that. All right. And then we're going to start like really organizing. And then we're doing the basement. We're redoing the guest room. The parental still have stuff in the room, so they need to clear out that stuff sometime this week. And then I'm going to go in there. We're going to start painting it. It's going to be like a really pretty guest room that I had always envisioned. Then Pete's going to sleep in there while we do his room. He's getting rid of the Jeep bed and he's going big boy bed, and we're going to kind of redo it for him. I'll do befores and afters for everybody on that because it's going to be fun. I got some great ideas. And little by little, we are going to start planning and talking to somebody for next year about redoing the kitchen. I'm done with the kitchen here. I've always wanted a certain kind of workable kitchen, and I've never been able to get one basically because I've always rented. And I bought this house with the impression that we would do the kitchen, and then we never did. And we're 6 years in now. And I'm like, okay, we're doing the kitchen. Like, I'm done. It'll be done, like, I think in year 7 or year 8, but it's getting done, right? I'm done. I'm all in. So I'm like, cool, we're doing that. Which brings me to, I've got all that stuff straightened out. A lot of people have been asking, Liberated. Can I just tell you how much joy I find in Buster? And for those of you who don't know, or maybe listening for the first time, I have 2 dogs. I have a 15-year-old Shiba Inu who will be 16 this year in fall. I also have, bless her little heart. And then I have we bought a puppy a year ago, and I have a 16-month-old Newfoundland named Buster. And Buster is just the cutest little hair blub. I mean, he's not little. He's, 130 pounds. But let me tell you, he is just something. He's so spoiled, and he's imprinted on me, and he follows me around the house 24/7. But let me tell you, this dog likes to be outside in the cold. He likes to be outside in the cool air. He loves the crispness of the morning. He loves himself an ice cube. He loves water. That's fantastic. But right now in the Midwest, my entire yard is mud. M-U-D. Now, if you have a big dog, you're aware of why this is a huge problem. Little dogs get muddy, but they don't get muddy. I'm going to take that back. I can send Sheikah and Buster outside for 5 minutes to do their business. And then Sheikah will come right back in and not have an ounce of mud on her, not even on her feet. My little dainty princess queen girl, foxy lady. Then Buster, after we try to lure him in with treats because he doesn't want to come in once he's in the yard. So 25 minutes later, he'll be lured in by a treat. And he's in adolescent stage. Apparently this is supposed to end because right now I want to sometimes die when I'm calling him in and he's ignoring me but looking at me. And he'll come in and be covered in mud. It'll be just be, now they're web-footed. They're web-pawed dogs. So he'll have mud all up in his webbies. So you got to like pull it all out with a towel or it just spreads all over your house. You know, we also took the pool down in the fall. We finally sprung a leak. So we took the pool down. So there is a big sand circle, an 18-foot sand circle, which is awesome because he lays in that because it's cool. So then he comes and he lays in the corner of the house or wherever he's going to lay. And then when he gets up, there's like a beach there because it all fell out of his fur. It's something else. So if you've ever if you understand what I'm saying if you have a double-coated dog. But let me tell you, we had to go the other day. So we had testing in the morning. Peter's currently doing Iowa basic skills testing, Iowa skills basic testing, whatever it's called, and COGAT testing with his tutor. And so we've been doing that. And after that, we had a little break in the afternoon for him to eat something. And then we had to go to the orthodontist because it was the day he was getting his spacer on. Okay. Or not spacer, his expander. He already had his spacers on. He was getting his expander. So I want to let Buster out really quick, Sheikah really quick, because we're going to just put him in the kennel. She runs free. She's fine. And then run to the orthodontist, come back, then come out again. No big deal, right? 1, 2, 3. I bring him outside. She comes up. He comes up. And I'm like, wow, he came up. I'm like so excited that he came to the door like quick. I was like, let's hurry up and get him. I turn around and I focus on him. And he is covered in mud. I'm not talking paws. I'm talking like elbows deep. His fur, it's like, it was like clay on his hair, on his fur. It was all over his feet. It was on his face. It was on his neck. It was on his belly. It was like he was trying to dig himself out of a mud pit. I don't know where it was. I can't find where it would have happened because everything's kind of muddy, but I'm like, why would he be on his front paw? All I can think of is that we always, and I quite often have small animals nest under our deck. And all around the deck is muddy right now. So where like the flower beds are and stuff. So I think that's where he got it. That he was trying to get under the deck. And he's filthy. So here's me. Great. I got 10 minutes to get to an appointment, which is in all goodness, only like 4 minutes away. But okay, he's big. 2 buckets, people, worth of water that I had to dump, black, muddy water. That it gets worse. So then, bear with me. Then I sit there and I'm as I'm talking to him and rubbing him and I'm like, you've been such a naughty boy. Buster, you should know better than to do this. Mommy got an appointment. And I'm like, wow, I'm talking to my dog that got muddy. And then I look at him and he's honestly looking at me like, I'm sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry, but I couldn't help it. To me, that's what Buster sounds like. It was just some animals. I'm so sorry, Mama. That's what he like to me. That's what he looks like when he talks. I'm like, wow, I can't even be mad at him, but I'm fucking furious at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I wipe him down best I can. So I've got a wet wash rag, like a little square wash rag, right? I'm 2 buckets in of, Dawn dishwashing liquid because I'm trying to cut through anything to get. Thank God he's a double-coated dog. So I don't know where that came from. A double-coated dog. So I was able to just get the outside. The inside wasn't dirty. Google it. And I'm like, what? This is insane. So I'm trying to hurry up. Now I'm muddy. I get him up in the kennel. I'm muddy now. I got a vacuum because there's mud pieces everywhere. So I'm sweeping, vacuuming. I take the mop. I spray it down with like Lysol. I'm like giving it a quick because there's like paw prints all over in mud formations. And then I wash up to my elbows personally because I'm filled with mud. I'm checking my face. I got mud on my face. I grab Pete. I'm like, let's go. We'll be fine. We will get into the car. I walk into the place. I'm like, we're checking Peter in for his expander today. And she's just looking at me like, and I'm like, what did I miss? Like, oh man. And I look down in my whole shirt. I'm sorry. My whole shirt is muddy. And I'm like, what the hell? So I look at her and I'm like, in all honesty, I let my dog out real quick to come here. We live like 4 minutes away. I thought this was going to be an in and out deal. He came in completely canked in mud. I had to wash it all off. It took 2 buckets full. I got everything off my face. I forgot my shirt. Ain't nobody got time for that. And she starts giggling and she goes, what kind of dog is it? And I'm like, a Newfoundland. And she just loses it. She's laughing. She's like, I'm just getting the visual in my head because, my mom used to have a Newfoundland when she was growing up. It was like their dog, and to see the pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we all got a laugh out of that. So once again, I was liberated from not having to worry about the fact that I'm at the orthodontist office, a full office, might I add, of a ton of people, with a muddy shirt, like somebody had attacked me with mud all over them. when in actuality he was just laying on the ground, acting like a fool while I was wiping him down. There's that. That's pretty much all I got going on today. I just want you guys to know that pretty much, although we were in a casual format today, that the lesson basically for me this last couple weeks, and especially in the last week, was, little things happen and we get so caught up in the moment, like, having the parentals here and, being stressed out about, classes and testing for Peter and, how that's going super well. And, being able to eat better, to make yourself feel better and to do whatever it takes to make yourself feel better. But just little things can be quite liberating when that veil comes off and you just get rid of it, Obviously, I kind of had no control over the parental thing, but as soon as they left, that veil was just dropped, and the release of liberation was so amazing. Like, just the fact that I'm sleeping now is fantastic. And just like Buster, I mean, I couldn't change that he came in all muddy. It is what it is. It's just, you just can't be mad at the big lug. And then just to have like this, it turned into a story that turned into laughter, and laughter in the long run is the best medicine. So until next week, you guys have a fantastic week. Saturday, we have a coffee talk, and you know how it goes. Lead with kindness.